So hello everybody out there in Facebook land. Lynn Huber here and Richard Huber.
Hello.
This is our Sunday night Learning with Lynn. So I hope that you guys are all having a great weekend. We're getting ready to go to RepFest. We're actually leaving on Wednesday, so I'm really excited about that. Really excited about RepFest because it's going to be amazing. So who's all going to RepFest? If you're going, put something in the comments and let me know. So what I want to talk to you about today, we're going to kind of keep this short, I think, because I've got so much to do before RepFest. But today I want to talk about how to make sure that what you want to have happen in your business happens. So how to take it from a dream to a plan to make sure that it works. So if you're there, say hi. And I know there's a couple of people out there, so say hi so we know you're on. But let's go. Hi, Bethany. Awesome. You're going. Yay.
Hey.
Hey, look at that. Bethany's going. Woo.
Awesome.
So let's let me go. I'm going to share my screen here. And so now you should be able to see my online beauty biz blog. This is where I get most of my trainings from because I spend all the time to write them. So I figure that at least if I wrote it, I know what I'm talking about. So this is what we focus on our Sunday Learning with Lynn. But so what I want to talk about, like I said, is changing your dream into a goal and making it come true, making it happen. So if you were to go to my blog and you go to this search button on the right-hand side, and I know I've done this before, but just in case, I think, yeah, if you're on a phone, as you can see here, if you're on a phone, it would be down towards, like, there's probably 5 or 6 posts, maybe more. And then sign up for the newsletter and then search. So that's where the search is. If you're on a computer, you'll see it over on the right-hand side, right here, just right underneath the sign up and send me the flyers. So if we search for plan, and it's actually the first one that comes up, turn your dream into a workable plan to build your Avon business. So sometimes, you know, the thing is, and we're all guilty of this. I know we are. I mean, you know, we get in a rut. We get kind of going along with our life, and time goes by. And then all of a sudden you look back and you go, I've been working this for a year. What have I accomplished? I haven't accomplished what I want, you know, and the reason why is because you haven't got a focused plan. You're not like focused on what you're going to do. And it's just easy to get caught up in the dream, and you can dream about it forever. But if you're not taking the action, and if you're not tracking it and making course corrections along the way, you're not going to get to the dream. So, like, you know, I've seen lots of reps do this, and I'm guilty as well. But you go to RepFest, you come to a sales meeting or a webinar, but then week after week, month after month, year after year, they're not making any progress towards their dreams. Does it sound like you? It's been me at times. And it's not because you're lazy. It has nothing to do with that. I think some of you work really hard. But sometimes I wonder if you're working on the right things. And so that's what it's more about, is that you don't know how to move from a dream to a plan and you get stuck. So let's talk about some ideas on how to turn that dream into a plan, because we're going to go to RepFest and we're going to get all excited and we're going to get recommitted to our business, and we're going to, I'm imagining, I am pretty sure that they're going to kick off another incentive where we get to go on another cruise or a trip somewhere or who knows where, but they usually kick that off at RepFest. I'm really excited about it. And so when something like that happens, you're going to get all excited and you're going to go, oh, wow, I'm going to make this happen. But then you get home and you're right back to the same daily life, right? I mean, your kids are screaming at you, the dog's running around, your husband wants your time, you got to go to work. You know, all these things can take you off your goal. So it's really important to figure out what it is you want and find a way to stay on track. So what we're going to start with is your long term. Why did you sign up to sell Avon? What is it you want out of your business? And you can't just say more money. I mean, what is it you want that money for? So for me, when I first started, actually, I had no intention of doing anything with my business. I had a great job. Richard had a great job. I was a geek, and I was creating a website, and it was back in 2001. Internet was just coming out, and websites were just being built, and I was looking for a way to pay for that. And, you know, I was in Avon for a year before I figured out what I had in my hand, and that I could really make enough money with this to give me the freedom and not have to go to work anymore, and not have to work 70 to 80 hours a week, and, you know, not have time off unless you had to ask for it. So we got busy. We got serious with it. 2 years later, I was able to retire. And then 2 years after that, we retired Richard out of his day job. And now my why's really different. You know, I've been out of my job since 2006. So I've not had to work. What is it now? 12 years? Wow, pretty cool. I'm debt free. I don't have a house payment. I don't have car payments. I don't have credit card debt. My credit cards are paid off every week. And I don't have debt, so I have that freedom. So my why now is not just to make money. Of course I need to make money. I need to be able to pay for all the things I want to do, and I need to be able to pay for my travel. But my big why right now is I don't ever want to have to go back and work for somebody else. I don't ever want to have somebody say, you have to be here at 8 o'clock and you're 2 minutes late and I'm writing you up, because trust me, I've been there. I've been in jobs where I worked 70 hours a week and I got wrote up for being 2 minutes late. You guys, I know what it's like. So that's my why. What's yours? Is it because, I don't know, because Johnny needs braces, or because you want to put your daughter in private school, or is it because you want to retire, you and your husband? I mean, it could be any range in between. Maybe you just want to be able to make enough money so your family can go on a great vacation every year. That's fine, but figure out what it is that you want, and figure out long-term what your ultimate goal is out of your Avon business. So, you know, think about, where do you want to be 5 years from now? Because if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there, right? We all know that. We've talked about that. If you're flying an airplane, or if you're driving a cruise ship, I don't think you call it driving, piloting a cruise ship, you set your end point where you're going to end up, and you just can't walk away and expect it to get there. You have to make course corrections, like, repeatedly throughout the journey. And it's the same thing with our Avon business. And if you're not tracking and not having any idea where you stand on a day-to-day basis, you're never going to get to where you want to go. So start with the long term, and then you're going to create milestones. So once you know your ultimate destination, then you can create a plan to get there. You can create interim goals that's going to help, that you can monitor and track, and it will help you stay on track. And so, for example, if you want to be free to quit your job, then you need to have a couple of things in place. You need to have enough income to replace your income from your job, and you need some passive income to sustain your business even while you're not working in your job. And so you can work backwards then, okay? So let's say that you need to make $60,000 a year in order to replace your income. And right now you're earning about $5,000 in your Avon business. So you can create milestones year to year. So reasonably, you could say year 1, I need to make $15,000. Year 2, $25,000. Year 3, $40,000. Year 4, $60,000. And year 5, I just said sustain your income, or you can continue to grow, but it gives you that extra year, right? So that you kind of gives you some playroom if you need it. Hi, Pat. Good to see you here. So when you have those milestones in place, it's easier to figure out what you need to do, and it's also easier to track where you are, and if you need to make that course correction. So what we're going to do is we're going to create small goals. So what I want to do is I want to go to, let's look at President's Club. This is actually last year's President's Club. It's 2017, but the levels are the same, and I'm using this chart because it's actually easier to see on the screen here. So President's Club, to get to President's Club, you need to sell $10,000. That's about $400 a month. I don't know these off the top of my head. So that's about $400 a month, roughly. And so rather than say, I want to get to President's Council, which is $110,000, when you're really only selling $3,000 right now, chunk it, make it small goals. You don't really need to worry about President's Council yet. That's where you're going to need to be in 5 years if you want to be able to quit your job. But let's first get to President's Club. So what do we need to do to get to President's Club? Well, we know we need to sell $10,000. We know we need to sell about $400 a campaign. So that means that you want to be tracking where you are every campaign. At the end of the campaign, your order goes in, you get your total for that campaign and you're like at $300. Well, don't beat yourself up over it because we're going to have ups and downs in our business. That's what we do, right? Everything about business is ups and downs, ups and downs. So don't get yourself upset about it, but say, okay, I only sold 300. I got to get to 400 next campaign. I got to maybe make up for it. It's up to you how far you want to push it. I want to make up for it. I'm going to get 500 next campaign and make up for the 100 I didn't get. Or at least just I'm going to get to 400 next campaign. And it's not beating yourself up. It's not that at all. It's more just being aware. Because if you go along the whole year and you don't know that you didn't make $400 every campaign, you didn't know and you didn't know and you didn't know, where are you going to get from there? You're not going to have any way. You're not making any course corrections. You're not even aware that you're off. And then when you get to the end of the year and you've only sold $6,000, that's why. It's because you didn't keep track of where you were. So it's not about blame. And it's not about guilting yourself. It's more just tracking and just knowing where you are so you can make those course corrections. Then once you get to President's Club, that's when you worry about Honor Society. So Honor Society is $20,000 a year, which is about, it's got to be about $8,800 a campaign. So it's 10,000 is about 4. Mm-hmm. So now you've reached President's Club. Now your next goal is Honor Society. So you're going to work to get $800 a campaign. Same thing. You're going to track it. Get a spreadsheet or a piece of paper or whatever works for you. And every campaign, track your numbers. Add them up. Know where you stand all the time. Trust me, if you at least, it's just that knowledge. It's just the knowledge of knowing where you are. Almost all by itself helps you get that goal because then you can make those corrections. You can make the changes that you need to. And then once you're at Honor Society, then you say, okay, I need to get to Rose Circle. I need 35,000, which is what? Divided by 26, about 1,300 roughly a campaign. So it's just incremental steps. You've grown to that level. Now you just take the next step up and you grow to that level and so on until you get to President's Council. President's Council, if you were to do it this year, would get you a trip to Maui. That's pretty exciting. I would love to go to Maui. There's other ways to get there, though. There's Pinnacle Awards and other things. So if you're doing big increases in your sales, you have a chance of winning that, of earning that through being the top 10 in sales increase. So there's still other ways to get there without being President's Council. So that's just on sales. So, and we talked about that last time. If you want to know how to get your sales up to that, our last Sunday Facebook Live, we talked about that. But bottom line, it's all about talking to more people. It's about getting more brochures out and more brochures out and more brochures out and talking to more people. It really is. So let's look at leadership. So let's say that you want to, I don't know if you can see this very well. Let's see if I can make it bigger. So let's say that you want to make the money with leadership. Leadership is not a lot of money in the beginning, but as you grow, as you get up to the leader level, and then especially the executive leader level, that's where your income triples and quadruples, and that's where you're seriously making good money. I mean, an executive leader, to me, in my mind, and I'm not saying that you will do this, I'm not saying, I mean, it's different for everybody, but I think if you're at an executive leader, you could almost replace your income, your $60,000 a year income, depending on your situation, depending on what level of leader you were at. But this is serious income once you get up here. So it's the same thing. You're getting started in leadership. What do you have to be a promoter? Well, to be a promoter, you just need one person, one order. You have to have a $50 order and one order. And then once you become a promoter, now you're going to earn $20 for every person you bring in that places a minimum $150 first or second order. You'll earn $20, and you're going to earn 3% of everything they sell. So then you just get one more person, and now you can promote to star promoter. So you have $50 order, 2 people on your team. You still get the $20 every single time you get a new person that places that qualifying first order, and you make 3%. of every person you've sponsored for as long as you and they are in the company. That's just a given, okay? But now you get another 3% off of all of your personally sponsored first generation people. So now it's doubled. See that? It's not very much at this point, but it's doubled. Then you worry about bronze. Now that you're a star promoter, now you worry about bronze. So what do you need to be bronze? Well, from this point on, you have to have $200 orders. For no matter how big you get, you have to have $200 orders. You have to have 3 people placing an order, and you and those 3 have to have $1,000 in total team sales. You still get the $20 for each new person when they qualify with their first qualifying order. You still get the 3% sponsoring bonus. You get a $500 bonus for promoting to this level. That's pretty sweet. You've signed up 3 people, and Avon's going to give you $500. That's really sweet. Now, that's spread out over 4 campaigns, so you have to maintain it for 4 campaigns. And now you're going to earn an extra 3% on your first generation and an extra 3% on your second generation. And as you grow, those percentages, as you can see, get bigger and bigger and bigger. But so I'm not here to teach you about leadership, but what I'm teaching you is don't worry about how am I going to get to platinum executive leader unless you've gotten to bronze ambassador. And then once you're bronze ambassador, now you worry about how you're going to get to silver ambassador. And once you're silver, now you worry about how to get to gold, because you can only bite off so many, you can only chew so much. Your mouth only holds so much, right? It's not going to do you any good to try to get to platinum executive leader and get $400,000 in sales when you don't even have anybody on your team yet. So take it one step at a time and just eat like, what's that saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's how you're going to do this. But it's being consistent and it's tracking it. That's the most important thing. Like I said, whether you do this on a piece of paper or whether you do it in an Excel spreadsheet, you just need to know what is it that you need to do. And you know what? You can track it by the day if you want to. You can say, I want to sell $50 a day. Or let's see, $400. Well, $400 divided by 10 days. So if you just worked 5 days a week would be $40 a day. So if you said, I'm going to sell $40 a day and you tracked it by the day, then it's the same thing, right? Then you can say, well, I didn't sell 40 today, but I'll sell 80 tomorrow. Or I'll sell 60 over the next 2 to make up for it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. Nobody's going to beat you up. You, I hope, are not going to beat yourself up. It's more about just knowing where you stand, because if you don't know where you stand, you're going to have that dream forever and you're never going to get there. You're going to be going to work. Your boss is going to be beating you up. Your 6 kids are going to be screaming and running around the house. Your husband's going to want to know where dinner is. And you haven't paid any attention to what's going on in your business, so you have no idea where you stand. So I talked about this last Sunday, but being an Avon representative is actually really easy or simple. I guess I should say it's simple. It's not easy because you have to be consistent and you have to do the work. So that makes it hard for some people. But it's simple because all you have to do to build your sales is get brochures, label them up, give them out to people, get their name and phone number, follow up before you place your order, receive the products, bag them, deliver them to your customers, and then start it all over again. Go out, give brochures to people, get their name and number, follow up, place your order, deliver to your customers, and then so it's just the same thing over and over again. Give out brochures, follow up, deliver the orders. It's not hard. It's really simple, and you need to just do it more and more and more. And the key is how much you want to make, or what's going to determine how much you make is how many brochures you give out. If you give out 50 brochures, you're probably not going to sell President's Club. You're not going to sell at 10,000 a campaign. In fact, I would say you almost have to have a minimum of 100 brochures a campaign, and I would do even more than that. I would do 200 or 300 brochures every campaign. And I talked about this in another, hi Lori, I see you're there. I talked about this in another one recently too. You can buy, back when I was selling 6,000 a campaign, I was doing 1,300 brochures. And I know you think that sounds like a lot, but 1,300 brochures costs about, I don't remember the exact amount, $350, $360, somewhere in there. But for a cost of $360, I got $6,000 in sales. So brochures are such an inexpensive way to grow your business. I know it sounds like a lot, $300, but you're not going to go out there and buy 1,300 books right now. But if you're buying 100, how about you do me and you both a favor and double that order? If you're buying 300, add another 100. In fact, every campaign, add another 100 until you get it built up. We're in summer now, and we're already the end of July. We're almost into August. School starts in August, and once school starts, we're headed into fourth quarter. And it's like 40% of your entire year's sales are going to happen in fourth quarter. So you need to be getting out there and taking advantage of that. You need to start bumping up your Avon brochures now and getting them out to as many people as you can. If you want to sell, I mean, if you want to increase your sales, if you don't want to, that's fine too. But if you want to increase your sales, you got to get more brochures and you got to get them out. You got to really start working to get ahead of that so that when fourth quarter hits, you're already in momentum. Also, when we get back from RepFest, you're already in momentum. If hopefully you've already started. But if you haven't, at least you're starting now and not waiting until next week. At least you're getting things in motion and not waiting until next week. So when we get back from RepFest, I'm going to be hitting the ground running. I mean, I already have momentum going in my business, and I'll be hitting the ground running, and I'll be, whatever the incentive they announce, whatever it is, I'll be on my way already there. So does anybody have any questions about what I talked about? And while I'm waiting for that, do you have anything you want to add, want to say?
No. Tiffany's on the right.
I see Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany.
Yeah, just basically, it's just reverse engineering your business all the time. You know, like Lynn said, you just chunk things down. You find out where you want to be, break it down to small bites, and work it from there. But just consistently stay with it, and then analyze your sales. You may be in the beginning, you might only be getting $10 an average sale, but after a while, you're getting better at it. And your average for customers could go up to $25 or $50, you know, and it might make it easier to, you could have less customers and still get up to another category. So always be looking at your business, always be analyzing it.
I would be analyzing it almost daily if you're, especially if you're just getting started, but bare minimum, at least every campaign, you got to know where you're at, because if you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah, it's like Lynn said earlier. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do, and that's always the problem. It's a simple business, but you simply have to keep working. Simply.
So I want to say we are going to RepFest on Wednesday. Yay. In the Online Beauty Biz group. I just now posted it again. I posted it the other day. I've created a group me texting. So this is a group text, and I don't have to have your text numbers or anything, because you can just get in this group. You can either use the app or you can have the text come through your normal texting. You don't have to have the app, so you can just do it through your normal texting. If you have unlimited text, that's not going to be a problem. If you're paying for texting, then you want to get the app, because then it won't go. You can turn off the texting and have it just come through the app. But it's just like a group text. We could have up to 200 people on here, so I need you to know that you may be getting a lot of messages during the time that we're in RepFest. And there's no point for you to be on it unless you're at RepFest.
It's just a great way to be able to link up. If we're there, we can say, hey, you know, there's 5 or 6 or 10 of us going to meet at this restaurant or this location, and we're going to be doing such and such. It's just a way to stay in contact, because people are going to be at 8 or 10 or 12 different hotels while we're there. It's going to be hard to get together from time to time. So
yeah, and so you might hear me, like I might be in the general session or whatever, and obviously we're not all together, but I want everybody to be able to hang with us, whoever wants to, and it's totally up to you. But I might be saying, okay, we are going to go here for dinner. If anybody wants to find us, that's where we'll be, and we can all squeeze in this restaurant, wherever it is, or we're going to go hang out here. Then you know where we are, and we would love to have you come join us. Everybody is welcome. Also, next Sunday, we're going to do this Facebook live in RepFest. And I would like any of you who want to be on that live with me to come and find me. I'll let you know where I'm going to be. And we'll turn on the computer and we'll have 20 of us or whatever talking to the Facebook Live, talking about what was the best part of RepFest. So you're all welcome. So come find me at RepFest. But get on this texting group, because this way you'll be able to stay involved, or at least know where we're going to be. So then it's up to you if you want to be there or not with us. Okay? Yeah. It's right here in Online Beauty Biz. You just click on this. You'll have to join Group Me. It's free. You'll have to join them and create an account, and then they'll put you in the group, and you'll receive texts then every time I send one. Okay. So
the one we do next Sunday night, keep in mind RepFest will be over, so we're going to be letting all the secrets out. So anything you wanted to know, you'll find out about it on our text, our call next Sunday night. I
plan on it being at the same time, but I can't guarantee it, because I don't know where we're going to be exactly. But we'll be on Eastern time in Ohio. So my plan is to try to do it around 8 p.m. Eastern time. But again, I can't promise. So just kind of watch for, Facebook will notify you when we're live, and we'll go from there. And I'll send a message out to our texting group. So that's really all I have today. Mm-hmm. I want to thank you guys all for coming. I really appreciate you. And I hope that at least something of what I'm telling you is helpful. And I hope that you find it helpful in your business. So we keep plugging at it. We keep growing. And oh my gosh, this $10 sign up thing is so exciting right now. My whole team is growing. I have new people jumping into leadership. I can't even tell you how excited I am. So business is good. So get out there and make it good for you too. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And those of you that are going to be in Ohio, I'll see you there. Bye-bye.
See you at RepFest.